All right, my name is Nicole Shannon. I'm an Associate Director of Admission here at W&J. I recruit our students in Central Pennsylvania as well as in the Southeastern US. So if any of you are from that territory, I see some familiar names. Hi. I'm also going to let my coworker Thomas introduce himself as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Parcher. I'm one of the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions here. I work with all of our students primarily in the Midwest, from West Virginia to Ohio to Minnesota to Illinois, a couple of other states as well, and I also work with a lot of our students in Northwestern PA. So I'm really excited. I do also see some familiar faces here as well. So for those of you that are on, welcome. We're really excited to be talking with you today.
Yeah, welcome to Virtual President's Preview Day. We're really excited that all of you were able to log on. Just a couple quick announcements before we get started. Don't forget to check out the ZME World Activities and Academics Fair starting at 4. That'll last from 4 to 5. There's also going to be an alumni panel directly following this, so at 3:45. And it does bleed into the ZME World event a little bit. It's okay if you show up late, you'll still have a chance to talk with everybody. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We have a few ambassadors who will be monitoring the chat as well as your lovely panelists for this afternoon. But I'm going to throw it to them and let them all introduce themselves as well. So I'm just going to go in the order that you all appear on my screen. So Nolan, you're up first. If you could introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Nolan Rarig. I'm from Jim Thorpe, PA, so that's about 4.5 hours away from campus. I'm on the men's tennis team and as well as a brother of Phi Kappa Psi.
Joey.
Hey guys, my name is Joey Ioli. I'm from the Pittsburgh area, so just around 35 minutes away from campus. Nice quick drive, but I am a psychology major and I'm involved in the Student Government Association here on campus.
Hi, I'm Grayson. I'm from the Elwood City area, like an hour away from campus. I'm majoring in biology and I'm currently in the fellows program, so that's kind of my campus involvement right now.
Jordan.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan White. I am from Elizabeth, PA. It's not too far from campus, but I am a dual major in political science, international relations. I am also involved in SGA and I'm the chair of diversity and leadership in SGA.
So those are our 4 first-year students who will be on the panel, but we also have a couple special guests with us as well. We have 2 of our senior students here who will be monitoring the chat, and they'll be here to answer any questions that you have for them too. So Lexi and Jarek, I'll let you 2 introduce yourselves really quickly as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be with all of you today. So my name is Lexi. I'm from a suburb of Pittsburgh, White Oak, PA, which is about 45 minutes from campus. I'm a communication arts major on the pre-law track, hoping to get into law school. And I'm also involved in the pre-legal society on campus and Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority.
Hey everyone, my name is Jarek. I'm currently a senior on campus where I am a neuroscience major with a minor in chemistry. What I'm involved in, I have been a student ambassador in the admissions office for all 4 years. I'm also a resident assistant and a laboratory assistant. I'm involved in various other academic clubs and organizations, as well as intramural athletics. So feel free to ask me any questions in the chat.
Awesome, so let's kick things off. Panelists, as you all know, our students who are joining us today are admitted and deposited students. So think back to this time last year when you were all in that same spot. What made you decide to deposit to W&J? And you know, when you were in the shoes of these people right here on this call today, what made you deposit to W&J?
I can start off with this one. So it's first off crazy just to even think that only a year ago we were in the same shoes as you guys with deciding where to go to school. And really the most important factor is where you're going to feel the most at home. And for me, that was W&J. And as soon as I was on campus, I knew that this was my place to thrive. I, in high school, was very involved with leadership. different leadership activities. So I knew W&J, I was going to have tons of opportunities like that to continue my passion in leadership. But again, yeah, it's crazy that, you guys are at such a important step of your college experience right now, is you're just getting into it. But definitely keep up the excitement, and super excited to have you guys all here again.
I will actually piggyback off of Joey. From my experience, when I was actually in your shoes, I was basically almost committed to another college. I came here very late because I have alumni who attended this school, and they're like, you should apply to W&J. You want to be in politics, it's great for your major. I came to visit, and when I went on the tour, I got to meet so many ambassadors and just students on campus, campus leaders as a whole. And every single time, every conversation I had, it was very genuine. Any question I had, they were like very welcoming. They wanted me to feel a part, even though I wasn't a part of the community just yet. They made me feel like I was already a student. They invited me to events, even like events that they weren't having, like, you should come to campus, come and visit us. Come on, like we can be friends. And they make sure that you are a part of this community that they're building. And that's one big thing that I love about W&J, which was my deciding factor when I came here.
Nolan, why did you decide to deposit to W&J?
So I'm similar reasons to Joey and Jordan, where you just come on a campus, and I just had a feeling. So after my first visit, I had a feeling. The next day after I visited W&J, I actually visited my number 2 choice college, and just the feeling that I got from W&J was just so much better than the feeling I had after I visited my number 2 college, that I just knew W&J was the place for me to be. And then also just the history of the college, the reputation it has for its academics. There's not many schools that can say they have almost 100% acceptance rates for students going into medical school and law school.
Great. Thank you all for answering that. If you are worried about Grayson, she had some audio issues, so she jumped out. She'll be right back, just in case anybody's looking for her. But next question: what questions do you remember having at this stage in your decision-making process last year, and what were some of the answers to those questions?
So I'll start off with this one. So last year, as you all know, you guys were all juniors at the time. We were seniors. Schools got canceled. So I was already submitted my deposit. My question was, will I even be going to school in the fall? What do I do next? Do I go to school in the fall if it's offered, or do I take a gap year and then go to school the next year and start then? So nobody kind of knew what was going to happen with the pandemic. But W&J kept all of their students in the loop with their plans. They would email us, like, I think it was like weekly, with updates on how they were going to handle the coronavirus pandemic. And they told us at the beginning, it was, all right, we're going to try to come back normal. So be prepared to come back normal. And at some point they decided, or the governor came out and said, all right, that's not going to be able to happen. So they told us right away, they said, here's the plan. And they just kept keeping us updated with what the plan was and giving us answers to all the questions that needed to be answered to help us kind of calm down and realize that we would actually be able to go to college.
Great. Panelists, what questions did you have this time last year, and what were the answers? Go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
You're okay. So I had two major questions. Mine was, will I be able to make friends, and will I be able to travel? I am going to international relations, and I wanted to make sure that there were a lot of travel opportunities at the college that I decided to go to. And then I was also worried about friendship, especially since we were in a pandemic, how the separation and kind of like the 6 feet apart situation would go. Will there still be that community aspect that I love when I first visited the college? And when I came here, it most definitely address all situations. They offer 3 specific traveling programs that are all covered by your tuition, which is J-term, study abroad, and Magellan. Great projects that are able to allow you to travel at an affordable rate. That most definitely, the head of study abroad, Kara Kashuba. Oh my God, I love her to death. I wish that you all can meet her. Sweetest lady you'll ever meet. She most definitely helped me set up my travel plans for the next 4 years on campus. And then making friends. I thought I would struggle so much making friends here, but the first day I came on campus, the people that I met, like my best friends that I met the first day when we first came out of quarantine, just by just going to sit down, eating outside, commuting in our round chairs outside, and be able to just meet people in class and just engage in intellectual conversations and meeting people through Zoom activities that are arranged through the school. And it's even like playing bingo on Zoom. You may think it sounds like that's strange, but it was actually really fun. So just doing those interactions helps you to meet people outside of your usual bubble, and even getting a job involved in clubs and becoming a leader on campus. You'll meet many people, just as now.
Yeah, so one of the biggest questions I had was differences and similarities between classes. So I had no clue if I was going to get to college, have my first class, and completely fail it, or get a super high grade and be completely unexpected. I had no clue what the actual classes were going to be like in person. And the greatest thing about it was that W&J, they do such a great job of helping you, be the best student you can. Again, we have around an 18-to-1 teacher-student ratio. So you're not going to be just a number on a piece of paper like you would be at a bigger school. You're going to have these connections with your professors that they can really make sure you're going to do well in the class. Some of my classes in high school were very difficult, and I was worried that when I got to college, they're all going to be just like that. They're all going to be super hard. And while they are challenging, they're very manageable. And, like I said, you can always go to your professors, ask for extra help, ask for areas in which you can improve. But one of the biggest questions I had was the class difficulties, and the differences between high school classes versus classes at WJ.
Great. And everyone, remember, if you do have some questions now, feel free to post those in the chat. We do have people watching the chat for you. But what advice do you have for our visitors who are attending W&J in the fall?
My advice would be to let yourself open up and appreciate the experience, try new things. You're never going to know if you like something until you try it. So I am on the tennis team. I had no intention of playing tennis. The coach at the time, Chris Falk, who is now no longer the coach, reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to come play tennis for us? We'll add you to the roster and you'll be on the team." Well, so then there's a new coach, and now Coach Foster, who's the current tennis coach, she just welcomed us with open arms. She set up Zoom calls so that we can meet all of our teammates before we even got to campus. And that really helped you. That way you made connections before you got to campus. And even if those people are older than you, or you might think, oh, I probably won't be friends with me, or they're not going to want to be friends with me, talk to them anyway. You'll be surprised.
My biggest form of advice that I would choose to give would actually be to connect with your faculty members. Make sure that you make yourself known. Make sure that when every room that you walk in, you say your name. Make sure you understand what the interest is that maybe you may have going for yourself, and making that most definitely a priority, because the faculty here are here to help you. They most definitely want to see you succeed more than anybody on campus. Like my academic advisor, Buba, oh my God, if you ever have Dr. Musawa, he is the most genuine, honest man you will ever meet. He's very upfront, but he has so many connections across the country, even internationally, that he will set up internships, set up jobs, set up interviews, and set up meetings for you to meet people that you may never thought you could get in contact with. Like he arranged for me to meet a foreign service ambassador because he knows that I want to be a foreign service officer when I get older. So that connection, make sure that you are putting yourself out there is very important, especially when you come to WNJ.
Yeah, I'd say, um, definitely something to keep in mind would be, um, I actually just lost my train of thought. I saw the question in the chat and it completely went out of my head. Um, so I'll circle back when I can remember it again.
I think another really important thing to do is to always check like your W&J email and the site, because like you don't want to miss events, and they have events all the time to kind of get involved on campus. So I would definitely say like to keep track of that, and when you see an event pop up that you think you might be interested, just go for it, because 9 times out of 10 you're happy that you did it.
I am going to ask the question that's in the chat to all of you. What are some of your most enjoyable classes that you've had so far? If you can each share maybe one class that you've had that you've really enjoyed and who the professor was.
I can start with this one. So my favorite class so far has absolutely been my history class that I'm in right now, European civilization. And it's just super interesting. I always have loved history. It's really just kind of like my pleasure class that I like taking. It's always just super interesting. And my professor, Dr. List, she is fantastic. She's quirky, she's funny, she makes history enjoyable. So you're still, learning all the facts and the details, but at the same time, it's also very fun to go to class and easy to participate in. Um, and then with that, I do now remember my answer to the previous question, which is don't be afraid to have upperclassmen friends or friends that are way older than you. In high school, I was always just friends with the people in my grade, and that was it. But what I've learned here is that, I have friends that are seniors right now, juniors, sophomores, all of them. And even though we're 4 years different, 4 years apart in age, we all are here together, and we can find ways, to connect. You might have a class with a senior or a sophomore, and you can become friends that way. And it's really helpful too, because they can give you advice on classes, which professors they've had and professors they've liked. And really just they can help share their experience at W&J to help you make your life, a little bit easier if you're going through something for the first time as a first-year student.
Okay. Actually, my favorite class right now is taught by Professor Kieran. It's actually a history class. It's called Race, Medicine, and Society. This class will challenge you morally, intellectually, and in every which way. It most definitely will challenge you what you think that you understand as factual. And Dr. Kieran, he most definitely engages in conversation rather with not textual work or book work, but with conversation. It's set up as debate style and conversational. So you learn by going over readings or going over primary documents and then using your prior knowledge and your perspective outlook on a situation and debating it within the classroom. And that experience is sometimes challenging for some people, but it's also exhilarating because you're teaching yourself as well as you're showing others how your mindset works and how to be challenged, how your thought process could work towards situations. So that experience within this class will most definitely stick with me throughout my entire college career.
I would say that my favorite class that I've taken so far is actually my first year seminar class. It was a theater-based class, but for me, what was so great about the class was that that's where you really make a lot of your first connections on campus. So the variety of kids who are in that class, there's some who have done theater all their life, and then there's some that just kind of got placed into the class, don't even know what like Greece is, for example. So then there's people from Florida, there's people from 10 minutes away from campus. So you really get to meet people of all different backgrounds. And for me, that was, I really enjoyed meeting all of those people and making those connections with people who, if I didn't have that class, I probably never would have met on campus.
I would say that my favorite class has been Psychology 101 with Professor Petchel. She's absolutely amazing. And the way she does her class, it's not very like, you do the book work and that's it. She really wants a conversation and she'll ask questions that she wants everyone to kind of participate in and really get a discussion going. And I think it really makes it more beneficial and you learn a lot in her class. And I really loved it.
What's been your favorite memory of your freshman year of college?
So my favorite memory thus far, still not done yet. Couple more weeks, but thus far I would say it's when the tennis team we went to Primanti Brothers to bond. I was new to the team, and Nate, Maya, Jimmy, Billy, these are all players on the tennis team. They invited the entire tennis team to go out to eat together so that we could kind of get some bonding. And it was just really welcoming and very overall fun experience to kind of meet these people. And ever since then, I've been become very good friends with all of them. So we now will hang out on the weekends. It's not just a relationship in tennis, it's a relationship in tennis and outside of tennis. So they've helped me when I'm making class schedules. I'll say, hey guys, you have any of you had this class? Who are your favorite professors that you've taken? And they'll give me their answers, and it helps me kind of decide what classes I want to take.
I would say my favorite memory actually starts. We have an area in our school. It's called the Hub. It's basically a gathering area for all the students on campus, and they arrange events like paintball, laser tag, and particularly in January they had snowboarding right outside Old Main. We have this big old hill that is great to snowboard and sled. Well, sled mainly because it's not really safe to snowboard, and I would give them that. So yeah, we they had one that was like during the evening, but me and my friends missed it. We actually ended up missing whenever they had the assigned event. So, but we still want to go sledding so bad. So my friend LJ and Lizzie and all of us, like there's like 7 of us, we all got together. And at midnight, we cooked up this plan on a Tuesday evening, like literally, and went outside Old Main, grabbed a sled that they left downstairs in the hub, and we just went sledding at midnight. And I almost fell. Actually, I did fall because, and my friend Sadie caught it on video. So it was a very sad but fun time. It was really cold, but it was a good experience to have. It's just a random Tuesday night snowboarding at 12 a.m. So you never know what you happen at college.
My favorite experience so far was actually the first day out of quarantine in the fall semester. So it was crazy. I was in the bookstore with my suite mate, and all of a sudden I hear from a few rows back, I hear Joey, and it's Jordan. And somehow she recognized my voice from our Spanish Zoom calls. We were in a breakout room together, and somehow she recognized my voice from the other side of the bookstore. And literally from there, we said, "Hey, let's go get dinner." Jordan was one of the first people I met outside of quarantine, other than my suite mate. Um, but that was just such a crazy story that I have. And again, I have no clue, Jordan, how you were able to recognize my voice. Again, with a mask on, didn't even see me on the Zoom call, but somehow you did. And it's really just a great story now. And I always think of it whenever I think of my freshman year now.
I think my favorite memory from freshman year was last semester. I took Bio 111, and we had this lab project that we were working on all semester long. And I had 2 lab partners, Alex and Savannah. And for some reason, we decided to do our project on squirrels. I don't know why, but it was crazy because we ended up having to get up right at sunrise and at dawn um, to go look and count squirrels for a half hour every day. And so we made this whole group chat, and like basically it ended up just us telling the crazy stuff that happened when we would go back in the woods. And Savannah got attacked by a squirrel, started like trying to take her lunch and everything. And so like what started as like this big project that we had to do kind of turned into more fun than anything. And so that was probably like the best thing that I had so far this year.
Okay, so we have 3 minutes left, and I have one question left, and I'm going to open this one up to our two seniors on the call as well to answer. But when did you know that W&J was your place to thrive? When did you know that W&J was it for you?
I can take this one. That's okay. So now that I'm reminiscing on my 4 amazing years at W&J, there's so many moments where I look back, and I mean, even throughout my freshman year, towards the end, I was like, wow, this is my school. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. But I think the first moment I realized that was, as cliche as it might sound, like taking my first steps on campus, and just taking a tour and shadowing an economic history course with Dr. Mainwaring, who was wonderful, and just meeting the whole admission team. I got to meet student ambassadors that were just so welcoming, and I loved how happy everyone was. I'm not going to name other institutions, but when I took tours at other colleges, I didn't get that same feeling, and no one was really happy. And that's what I looked for. I wanted people laughing and making friends, and professors walking by shouting to their students hello, and that was important to me, and that was one of the main things I looked for while on my journey to choose a college. So yeah, that was when I really knew.
Going off of what Lexi said, there have been many moments throughout my 4 years at W&J where I have been constantly reassured that W&J has been my place to thrive and will continue to be my place to thrive in the last little month that I have left. But I would say the moment for me was Lexi mentioned coming on tours and everything, and that too was very influential to me. I love the campus environment, the community aspect of the college, but the moment for me was during orientation week when we had the opportunity to meet our professors that we were having for classes that year. And I had the opportunity to meet with my biology professor that I was going to be having in class. And literally before the first day of class, I walked into this meet and greet session, and she called me out and greeted me by name. This was before the first day of class. Her name was Dr. Sean Muganathan, teaching intro biology course. Knew my name before the first day of class, and I was shocked. And I knew at that moment that W&J was going to be my place to thrive, where I could build connections and have intimate relationships with professors. And because of that, I knew that I had the right choice, and that I was going to be set up for success.
So at W&J, as Jarek said, I'm constantly reminded every single day how much the reason why I'm at this school, and how everybody can really know your name, and how you can really connect with people. But I think the number one thing was when I had an info session on my visit. I met with a young lady named Eliza, and the conversation that we had, I asked her like very like personal question, like about the campus, her experience, the people, the friends that she has made, the type of person she is, to see like, can I envision myself at this campus? And you can see that the morals ingrained into the culture on this campus is ingrained to the students as well. So if your morals align with community, collaboration, leadership, self-growth, self-determination, discipline, this is the campus for you for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing that enticed me to W&J, is that they don't just talk. They actually act as they talk, and they continue to grow, and they continue to act out the actions that they encompass all their students to be. And I really enjoyed that. And it really showed how genuine and involved this community is with the students.
I knew that W&J was going to be the place for me. It was actually on W&J's like president preview day last year before COVID happened. So everyone was at campus, and I remember it was after our lunch conference time. But my mom, so glad she did it now. But I remember she had pressured me so much. She goes, "Oh, there's President Knapp. There's President Knapp. Go introduce yourself. Go say hi. Go make an impression on him." So I did, and I went over and I talked to President Knapp. I shook his hand, and at that moment, I realized, if I'm able to speak to the president of the college on simply just a college visit day, you know, this is where I need to be. You know, President Knapp, he remembered me. I remember in the fall semester, I saw him one time and, you know, he recognized me. Because that's the kind of community we have here at W&J where, you know, you're going to be remembered, your name is going to travel, and you're going to have a presence here that you wouldn't have at any other college.
For me, my moment was when I got my acceptance letter and my initial financial aid statement. There was a personalized note on the bottom. I was looking and I was like, all right, same old that you get from every school. But then at the bottom, there was a personalized note, which really showed me that the faculty and staff here actually care about the students, and they read my entire application, and they had the exact clubs I was in, and it said something like, "We're so excited for you to be a president. We can't wait to have you." And for me, that was just so, it just filled me with joy that they took the time to write a note and really to show me they want me on campus. And it's not just them doing their job, it's them actually being there for the student as well.
I knew pretty simple. It was a week after I came for my first tour. And really the way that I knew that it was the place for me was the fact that I was still thinking about it. Like every day, every moment, I was thinking about being on that tour and that it felt right. So I think that that was it, was that I got that gut feeling and I just knew.
Great. Well, thank you, panelists, for all of your inspiring words this afternoon. Just a reminder to everybody, next is the alumni panel, the young alumni panel. So make sure you head over there. It starts in just about a minute. Also, don't forget about the ZME Worlds, which will be happening from 4 to 5 p.m. You'll have a chance to talk with some faculty members and some students across the board who are representing different clubs and organizations. And make sure that you check out all the content on your portal so that you have a chance to hear all of our videos and see everything that we have prepared for you for Preview Day. So have a great rest of your day.